It's time for Cats Talk Wednesday. Small town and big city joined forces. Vinny Hardy of Lynch, Kentucky, and Terry Brown of Louisville, Kentucky, team up to give you free-flowing, laid-back sports talk. Focus on Kentucky Wildcats, as well as pertinent information in the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball.
Speaking of pertinent NBA stuff, we had a lot of stuff happen on Wednesday's TV, even Kentucky Louisville one year. And now, for the first time, we got the NBA draft on Wednesday.
As we do it's 2 days, right?
Yeah, trying to be like the NFL, I guess.
Whatever,
stretch it
man.
out. Stretch it out.
I ain't paying attention 2 nights in a row, so that's not the way I'm wired for this. I don't even watch it today. The Lakers don't have a pick.
Now that's true. Now I got reason. The Rockets picking third, might have a cat. Maybe it's Reed, maybe it's Rob. A lot of people think it's gonna be Reed going to the Rockets. So I just welcome to Cats Talk Wednesday, by the way, coming to you courtesy of the BS3 Network.
Yes. Yes.
I just hope we ain't no disrespect. I hope we ain't trying to trade for Kevin Durant. Now that's what I'm not understanding. Glad he came back healthy from these injuries, but the mileage and hey man, I'd rather not.
He's older than you think. Kevin Durant is older than you think.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like, that's what hit me when we look at all these guys that are hanging around a little bit longer, right? Because you got to figure Larry Bird was done year 11.
Yeah.
Magic was done year 12. Like done, right? Like that's
early 30s, 32, 33. They was
and Bird's back was gone and Magic, of course, with HIV, but he was kind of running on fumes too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but part of that is because the style of play was different in the 80s. Plus, going to all those finals, you're playing 2 additional months every year. I think we need to factor that in for all the Jordan, LeBron stuff. The fact Jordan was able to do that, I know he had the break 94, 95, but like playing all those extra games deep into the summer, that's a lot of mileage. LeBron's probably played probably 2 additional seasons. If when you look at the minutes played in the postseason, and those are postseason minutes, right? It's different. It's a different game. So, but you look at like Kevin Durant. Even I didn't realize that Steph Curry, he been around a minute.
I mean, I think he's gonna be 36, and then if the math is right, it was 2008 when he was at Davidson, just taking it by storm. So that's 16 years ago when he was babyface little Steph.
Right. And so that's the thing is we're not used to, like, LeBron, of course, is the standard bearer, right? Because this is bizarre being as good as he has in year 20. But the other top dudes are still doing it at a very high level for a long time. It used to be, 32, 33. Woo, buddy. Like, you getting by on guile and whatnot, but we've seen guys be able to stretch that out a little bit. So completely different.
And not Celtics fans here, don't want to get him credit for anything, but what Tatum and Brown, I think they had the most playoff games by a duo before they won the finals, or they were up there. Was it 70 or 80 something wins they had together before they? That's a season for them.
Yeah.
So
deep playoff runs really grind.
Yeah.
It, like I said, it's additional wear and tear. The minutes are different, right? The urgency is different. And so that's what happens. That's and I think that's why we have to grade guys differently. I'm thinking about your man, James Harden. Like, if I think had he given us not even that he had to win the championship, but I can't remember just a season or a playoffs where he went out guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
It seemed like his season always ended with a performance where it's like 11 points, dog. Like,
I mean, John Starks, John Starks be looking at him sideways, like, man, really?
Yeah, 3 for 21.
11 turnovers.
Like
11 turnovers. Series against the Spurs. The Warriors. Hey, yeah, just dismal.
If he had just been able to deliver something, I don't think he'd catch all that grief.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not had that moment. I'm sure he's had some good playoff games. I know he had those 40-point games for was it Philadelphia? Yeah, it was Philly last year. Last year? Yeah. And against Boston, which I'm like, okay, cool, but like he ain't do it when it mattered.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It was almost like clockwork with him fizzling out the same way you almost kind of expect Joel Embiid not to be healthy, and both of Embiid not even playing and Harden playing badly. It's just the rite of spring almost.
Yeah, it's not fair, but it is.
Yeah,
that all we can do with what we got. That's the thing with Embiid. We get to the point now where it's like we may not see it. Like we may not see him healthy when it matters. I mean,
another
we
year
may
older.
not.
Just another year older next year,
and the landscape is changing. Boston is Boston now, right? And the Knicks getting all of the former Villanova Wildcats together, getting the band back together in New York. Look, man, I really don't have a dog in the fight. I know we clipped this when I talked about it last time. I don't want the Knicks to be good because they're kind of sort of good, and they're already insufferable to me. Ain't nothing like Madison Square Garden. How do we know, man? The last time a finals game was in Madison Square Garden was 99.
Yeah.
Like that's a quarter century ago. Like, listen to what we're saying.
It's true. That's true.
I mean, in that time, since the Knicks made the finals, the Lakers have the three-peat, Kobe's back-to-back, LeBron 6. The Spurs have 5. The Heat got 3.
Man, sure do.
Like, what do we do? The Warriors got 3.
Yeah, 4, don't they?
4.
Yeah,
You're
4.
right. Yeah, and that's how crazy it is. So Boston's got their 18. Lakers got their 17. And then the Warriors surprisingly are third now with 6 or 7. They got 7 total.
Yeah, because they had Rick Barry won a couple or something. Al Addles and those dudes and
yeah.
Yeah.
And so they got that, and then the Bulls 6, and then it's like you get 3 with the Heat, 3 with the Pistons. Like it's very top heavy. It's even more top heavy than the NFL, right? Because we got the Patriots got their 6, if I'm doing the math right.
Yep.
The Patriots got 6, and then was it Steelers with 5?
Steelers with, do they have 6? They got 4 in the 70s, and Ben,
and 2 with Ben, so they got 6. You're right.
Yeah, because Tomlin got 1, and then Cowher got they got 6.
Yeah. And then it's us with our 5, and then you got the totally uninspiring New York Giants.
We come back to New York again. Here we go.
I just
Giants and Knicks.
Look, man, I get it, but because New York is New York, and everybody that's in sports media is from New York, and they want you to. But to be honest, I mean, yes, the Yankees had that run in the '90s, but other than that, they've been pretty pedestrian.
Yeah. After, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And once the Mets decided we're not doing cocaine no more, they've been more humorous than anything. Peak Jets was the butt fumble with Mark Sanchez in my lifetime.
Yeah. Because.
And then the Giants, like I think I shared with you, like Eli Manning is like 168 and 168 in his career. And the only playoff games he won were on the way to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
like that, like, and that's my whole thing is we've turned the Hall of Fame in everything across the board. We have lowered it. What does it mean to be a Hall of Famer? My standard has always been where you must see TV at any point in time. Was it a situation where my team was going against your team? And I was like, I don't know. They got that dude. And I can't believe any NFC fan base ever said, oh my goodness, we have to go play Eli Manning. I refuse to believe that.
And he went through the Cowboys on that run as they limped in. Got home field throughout, #1 seed, and lost to him.
And that's the craziest thing. So now we got Eli Manning is going to force Gump his way into the Hall of Fame. And I just look at all these people, they start talking about who's making the Hall. And I'm like, there's just a bunch of people. And I don't want to, Eli's the big example, but like some of these guys, I'm like, Matt Ryan? No, man. No. Mm-hmm. He got the MVP. Good for him. But no, man. No.
Yeah. If they win that Super Bowl, he's probably in.
But I don't even.
If they finish it off.
But even winning a Super Bowl, does that guarantee that? Like, I don't think Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer.
No. Well.
Even with the Super Bowl. I think Eli getting in because he's from New York and they won 2. I think if they just get one of those, I think it's a tough case.
But beating Tom Brady with the Falcons, I don't know how close he is as he is, but if you to put a Super Bowl over Tom Brady in, which Eli got 2 over Tom Brady,
and that adds to it as well, right?
Weight. Yeah, so you give Matt Ryan 1 over Tom Brady, and that puts him down to 6 instead of 7.
And
oh God, you never know.
And it's weird also because, like I explained to you, the especially with quarterbacks, the passing numbers are too weird now. Mm-hmm. Like you go back and you look, and I want to say it was Kerry Collins and Joe Flacco on the all-time passing yardage list at one point before Flacco came back and moved up. Right behind them was Joe Montana and Johnny Unitas. Now, am I supposed to believe, going off the numbers, that Vinny Hardy, if gun to your head, you need a quarterback to play for your team like your life depended on it, and I give you the choice between Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan or Kerry Collins or Johnny Unitas and Joe Montana.
Yeah. That's wild. And that's only going to get more out of whack with the more average guys coming on up the list,
Right.
It's going to get watered down.
It looks wild, but I tell you what doesn't look wild is the career receiving numbers. Even as passing has exploded, you get a receiver that might have a 2 or 3 good year run, but I'm hoping it puts Jerry's career in perspective.
Yeah.
Because I'm just talking about the first from 85 to 94. Jerry's numbers ridiculous.
Yeah.
Dudes ain't caught that. Like, that's just the 94. That's just the first 10 years.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's what I know. Numbers don't always tell the story, and people try to say, "Well, Jerry just a compiler." I'm like, he had more touchdowns than anybody in NFL history. Game 1 of year 10. Anyway, not to go down that track, but it's NBA draft day. As a Lakers fan, I can't tell you if I've ever paid attention to the draft because
I forget about that. Man.
now we don't have. Usually, we don't have any picks, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, that brings me to this. I put it on the Facebook because Boston fans were feeling themselves. Okay, let me find this real quick because they've tried to prove a point, and I don't think it proves a point. Where's it at? Hold on one second. Okay. So the thing is that the Lakers drafted Lonzo Ball over Tatum and Brandon Ingram before Jaylen Brown. And everybody got on there beating their chest. Woo! Don't you wish you had these guys? They got a championship. Fine. I get it. I'm on the record. I was not with the Lonzo Ball pick. Ingram, Brown, whatever. But I was not with Lonzo Ball because I didn't like what I saw the 2 times Kentucky played him that year, right? But the whole story is those 2 players, those 2 picks, that's what they traded to New Orleans to get Anthony Davis. That's how they got a championship. Tell the whole story. I get it. Like, we want to, LA messed up. Okay, maybe. But the end result is getting the championship.
They fixed it. Because the same thread I saw, Philly went Fultz and Ben Simmons. Right. So that was.
So have all the jokes for them in their process. The Lakers looked around like, we got all these young guys. That doesn't work. LeBron came. We got to win now. Okay. That's my 2 cents about that. Is the Lakers like, because I see all this stuff about Lakers rebuilding and all this kind of stuff. That doesn't work in LA. It just historically has never worked with the Ingram and Ball and Julius Randle. Those teams were fun. They had a good nucleus, but wasn't nobody trying to see them in LA. Ain't nobody fighting LA traffic to go watch this young team, as exciting as they are. It wasn't working. Magic retired. Mid-90s, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Cedric Ceballos, right? They had all these young all-star players, right? Wasn't nobody trying to hear that. This is LA, man. They were all-star level, but come 96, hey, you know what? We're going to have to bring in a Shaq. That's how LA does it. It's just not going to be a bunch of young guys out here scrapping through it. That's not going to happen.
Pelinka said something to the effect in that press conference that you say all the time about, the 2 stars, something like that. He referenced it or, said that, that's how they're leaning or, Reddick, same thing, trying to,
right.
He understands. He knows what he signed up for. It wasn't completely Mark Pope, but he knows that you better
Does he know
be
the
about
assignment?
them rings. Yeah, you better be about them rings when you come to the Lakers, and more short term than long term.
And that is, again, I've told you before, when it comes to my fandom and who I'm a fan of, every team's got their I don't want to say culture, right? They get fan favorites. The Lakers have said, if you want your jersey retired here, I think outside of Elgin Baylor, everybody else was on a championship team for LA. I'd have to look that up, but I think so. But you have to be a Hall of Famer. Like this ain't for because Mark Madsen made us feel good. This isn't that, right?
Mhm.
Other teams, I got no problem with that, right? If Houston wants to put Kenny Smith in the rafters, cool, right? I'm just
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying, but I'm not he's not a Hall of Famer, but he was a part of the championship teams, right? You want
Mhm.
to do that. I get it. The Lakers, we don't even do nothing with division banners or anything like that. Like it's we won the whole thing or banner doesn't go up. Like at Kentucky, right? Like we
Yeah.
got to at least get to the Final Four to even think about getting a banner being made.
Mhm.
I don't care what kind of run you had to the Elite Eight. We not putting nothing up. The only asterisk to that being the unforgettable.
92. Yeah.
But that's not what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
We not for the feel good story. You know, and that's my whole thing with this group of 49ers. I want them to win because I'm a fan, right? And I want them to win because of me. But this is a good group of guys that they're not going to get their due in 49er lore without the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, you as we talked about with Eli Manning, you kind of need that to really start having a conversation. Because I think when I look at the Niners, Trent Williams, I think he goes to the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's been all pro like 14 straight years. I think he's going in, right? I think that Fred could probably get there, Fred Warner. He's got a couple of all pros. I think Kittle could get there. The weird thing is there's going to be a lot of tight ends with gaudy passing numbers or receiving numbers. He may not get that just because of the way the offense is built. Like he's not going to have Kelsey numbers. He's not going to have, Jimmy Graham numbers or, some of these guys. Just the way the offense is because he goes 2 or 3 games. I'm just going to block. He's not going to catch. But this good group, CMC may not get in. Despite being how good he is, and Jusic as a fullback, I don't because Daryl Johnson's not in the Hall of Fame.
No.
So I can't remember the last time a fullback went in. So anyway, I want this team to win for that, but yeah, you got to do something special out in LA. But again, I don't pay attention to the draft. I think. I mean, that's my I just don't because we ain't never pick a number 1 overall like I did when we picked Randall when he came out. He was what a top 5 pick. I paid attention then, but most time I don't know.
Yeah, that's
because we're not asking for a rookie to come in and save us.
That's true. That's true.
Again, you got LeBron, you got Kobe. Kind of back to back. That's a pretty good run of star power because the teams were terrible Kobe's last couple of years, right? They're objectively terrible. Like, who is out here with Kobe now? Like, who is this guy? Not quite the Ronnie Turioff era Lakers, but close. Yeah. But you got Kobe, and he still might show you a flash or two. That's how LA works. People can. Well, I don't. That's how it works in LA.
That's true. I don't even. Yeah, the fact that y'all don't even worry about the draft, pay attention. Yeah, that's a whole different way. Because I'm sitting here at the 3rd pick, and I'm about to see what we're gonna do.
How many mock drafts have you been through? Like I don't know.
I think I'll do 1 or 2. I'm not super, in that. Some people just live in those things every day, looking at everybody changing and who's up and down. But I think I did glance at 1, and they are rebuilding. They didn't do it the LA way. They 41-41. They made a push for the play-in. They faded towards the end. Got a lot of good young players. I think I can see Reed fitting in there in the mix and contributing to what they're doing if that's the direction they want to go, or if it's Rob or whoever. But it's one of them, that young up and coming. The West is hard, but
The West is hard,
Ime's a good coach, and you got some pieces there that you can kind of try to muscle your way into the mix if it all goes well. So you can build on 41 and 41. You can jump up to 49, 50 wins this year. We'll see what happens.
Well, and the thing is, I've never thought of the Rockets being a poorly run franchise. Like there's some franchises, like the Clippers, that this is just how they operate. And this, and this is as good as it's ever been for the Clippers. That's how crazy this is.
Jerry West tried to. He even tried to help him.
Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, we gave them both to the Clippers, and this is as good as it's been.
When they can't bring you all the way up. That's, they tell you all you need to know.
But all these franchises, like we talked with JR, like what have the Hawks been doing? And the thing is, ownership changes, front offices change, but some of these teams are these teams. The Jets have been the Jets all my life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense, right? Like it shouldn't make any, it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can understand, in the college, you're kind of stuck in your pecking order a little bit, right? You have a little bit of movement, but rarely do we see a team come from out of nowhere and all of a sudden just start whipping everybody. I mean, there's Gonzaga, right? But Gonzaga is not like UConn would be the outlier because UConn was terrible until the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get that Donyell Marshall, you get that group, and now it's like you see what UConn has done. But that upward mobility, it's very, very hard to get there and stay at the college level. But at the pro level, it's like, especially in a league like the NFL or even the NBA, where it's salary cap. Like, how are you not getting this right? Like at all? Like,
and it rotates. Outside of Patriots, it rotates. Everybody has a turn at being decent.
Like, how do you not stumble into being okay? Like the whole thing is set up for these owners to just stumble into being okay. How do you not do that for 40 years? Like, how do you not do that? And it's just it's crazy because I follow a lot of like Chicago Cubs fans and they're Bears fans. And that's the thing that hits me. They're excited about Caleb Williams, and I'm like, the Bears have never had a great quarterback. Like, there's Jim McMahon, right? But he was more, I'm gonna get the ball where it needs to go, right? And we got this defense, and we also, by the way, have Walter Payton, right? Like, so, but I was just like, Jay Cutler's probably the best Bears quarterback in our lifetime.
Baby, yeah. Cutler.
And that dude was taking it like he was working at UPS, like, I guess I'll go play quarterback today. Like, he just, I got to be careful. He just gave off the air of, I guess I will. Like he had no skin in the game. Like, win or lose, all right. See y'all. Like, he checked out. Like, that's just the air he gave. But it's like, how have the Bears never had a good quarterback? You got to go back to what, Sonny Jurgensen was Washington. But like, you got to go back to the Hallis days for like a dominant Bears quarterback.
Was because Harbaugh had his little flash with the Colts, right? That was Captain.
He played for the Bears, but his peak was when he was with the Colts, and they almost beat the Steelers in that AFC Championship game.
We have Mike,
but it's just
like Mike Tomczak and like people.
You name it. It's like Cleveland.
Yes.
After Bernie Kosar, it's been a lot of. Now, to be fair, I'm gonna be fair to my man Tim Couch. When he went to those Browns, he had no shot of being halfway normal.
Yeah, he could have. in hindsight, you pull the Elway, refused to go there because, I mean, it was brutal. Just like going back to the Hawks. And speaking of, Jr. texting talking about you need to take that Lakers jersey off. But Sar, he was talking about how Sar is, he refused to work out for the Hawks. And he's could be the top pick, one of the top picks in the draft, the big man, Olivier's brother, declined to work out for Atlanta. So that's where the Hawks are. You talk about that organization. That's this young kid don't even know the whole history, but knows enough to I'm gonna skip working out for y'all.
And it's crazy because Atlanta, the other two teams, have tapped into the culture, the vibe, and they've been competent. Yes, even the Falcons have reached 2 Super Bowls, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole thing when Dion and Andre Rison was there, right? Like they weren't great, but the Falcons with the dancing and MC Hammer in the locker room, that was a thing. And then they had the Dirty Bird, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons have a thing. Then Mike Vick, before the dogfighting, right, was a dude.
Oh,
So the Falcons have had that. And of course, your Braves, obviously, I'm sure you would like to have more World Series championships, but the Braves have been competitive for most of your life. Well, after not the early WTBS days when games was at 7:05, but after the Dale Murphy era,
from 91 on, they've
been fairly competitive, right? Like you've had to pay attention to at least September, right?
Yeah.
But then you've got the Hawks where it's like legitimately they're on my list of sometimes I forget there's a team in Atlanta. Oh yeah, the Hawks. And it shouldn't be like that.
No.
It really shouldn't. Because the Hawks of the 80s were cool. It's easy to do when you got Dominique Wilkins and Doc Rivers and you got Spud Webb and you got Tree Rollins and all those guys. But since then, what are the Hawks? The Hawks are just destined to always be those NBA TV playoff games when they make the playoffs.
Yeah. Just
and you forget they're playing and they're like, oh yeah. They had that one year they made the Eastern Conference semis against LeBron and he got them out of there expeditiously. Like
when Horford was there, right?
Yeah, Horford and Joe Johnson, like we got all these guys, right? We can go 7-8 deep. That's gonna beat one superstar until it's like, no, it's not. No, outside of the 04 Pistons, no, you're gonna have to have an elite player to pull this off. And I still say the 04 Pistons, they just called a dysfunctional Lakers team. Like I'm gonna give them their props, but come on. I got to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. And going back to Murph, he hurt my heart the other day, man, because he was tweeting out, he was pulling for Tennessee in the College World Series. I was like, Murph, man, you just it'd be like, which it'll never happen. But, Magic Johnson ain't tweeting "Go Blue Devils." You ain't got to worry about that. You ain't have to, because some had Spartans and all that, but you ain't got to worry about Jerry Rice saying "Go Cards" or nothing like that. But Murph saying "Go Vols," that hurt, man. That was a tough pill to swallow. But
let me get this out the way. Congrats, Tennessee Volunteers.
It's been rough for us, man. Celtics, Vols. It's been rough. I put out a tweet to a couple of Vol fans, and
and look, Tennessee was a very good baseball team this year. Like there's no, I'm not saying they fluked their way into it, but I ain't got to celebrate it either.
No.
I do like that Rick Barnes was there because he ain't gonna see his Tennessee Vols do anything.
And let's just say this, Kentucky baseball made it to the College World Series before Tennessee basketball made it to a Final Four. I'm just saying. They still waiting. Yes, we was the last SEC team to do it, but we just did it And y'all would have had Bernard King and couldn't get to a Final Four with him. Still waiting, So
Yeah,
but enjoy their title. Enjoy you had a good baseball team. Had a good baseball team a couple years ago, got knocked out. It's hard. They were the best team. We talked about it. After they beat Florida State, when it was shaky, you knew they was locked in. Michelle was asking in the comments who's gonna win, and we were hoping we were wrong, but it was Tennessee.
well,
had they parade a little bit quick, but hey, go ahead. A lot of fans couldn't even get back from Omaha, but hey, congratulations,
well,
Tennessee.
yeah. Let's talk about A&M. I'm not even going to try to say the A&M coach's name.
Coach Slosh, baby, Schlossnagel.
This is my thing, is because I'm tired of seeing stuff. Oh, the kids have ruined the sport. There's no loyalty anymore. Man, all these coaches, all of them are trying to get to the next jump.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's these jobs. I didn't realize that coach had gone from TCU, Texas A&M, Texas. And I had seen people.
Houston, UTEP, and Baylor, all he got left.
I had seen people like, the loser of the game on Monday was going to be Texas's new coach.
Right.
And I'm not even that deep into college baseball.
Uh-huh.
So it's fair game. The question is fair. Coach, why'd you go to Texas? It's so easy just to say, hey, got a lot of stuff going on. There'll be a time for that. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. Don't be offended that someone's asking and blah, blah, and then a day later, you're on your way to Texas. And coaches, every coach at every level wants accountability. They preach accountability and giving your all. And my question always is, when your season is over on a Monday and you're introduced as a coach for your new school on a Tuesday, I can't remember, is it biblical or where? A slave can't serve two masters. You can't be about two different things, man.
Exactly.
And you can say, my representatives are handling that or whatever, but you're not out of the loop. How can you lock in on the task at hand and think about other things? Now, is that a reason Texas A&M lost? No, I don't believe it is. But if I'm a player, like, that's why I am pro player, no matter what the circumstances, no matter what. You got to look out for you. And because they've had from A&M, like, I think 5 or 6 guys hit the transfer portal. And somebody's like, this is what's wrong. This is not what's wrong. That man on a Monday was getting these guys fired up for this national championship game. And I know he's like, we all in this together.
Yeah.
We blood, sweat, and tears since February. We and all this kind of stuff. And the season end, and he bounces
to Austin,
like, of all places, right?
To Texas. Whew.
I don't know. I've always said that I always thought that Rick Pitino misplayed going back to Louisville. Like, I think he's more beloved now in Kentucky than he was in, but at least he had a stop in between.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, right? Pitino lose in 97 and then replace Denny Crum?
Man. That's what that would have been.
Woo! You remember what it was after the Boston run.
I was still like,
right?
Come on, dog. I was like, come on, Rick. You could. I was like, go to Michigan, man. If you want to come back, go to college. Go to Michigan.
Look. I'm a little rough on Kentucky fans because some of y'all go it's way extra, and I got a point to that too, because I'm not going to look at every men's basketball post and have to see about how this is different from the last coach. I'm not looking at that for this whole next season. I know you know what I'm talking about. Every clip, Coach Pope in practice. Oh, we practice now. You dummy. We ain't got to lie, man. We don't have to lie. Like, just be like, way to go, coach. I don't know if you saw that one. Somebody took a picture of Pope. He was on a plane in coach. Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, he a man of the people. What are we doing? What does that have to do with anything? Because Coach Cal was flying around on private jets from the boosters? Like, yes. I mean, what? Oh, Cal's not a man of the people. And the bottom line is this. Cal could have been as arrogant as anybody else. If he had more than one NCAA tournament win the last 4 years, he would still be the coach. Let's just keep it 100. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to believe that Coach K was humble. Get out of here, man. He's a man of the people. Get out of here. The only reason Rick Pitino was beloved is because he won. What else did he do to really endear himself to the fan base besides win a lot? Like, what else? His wife openly hated Kentucky. Joanne, you remember the sign, Joanne, we didn't like you either. Like, nothing that Rick Pitino did should endear himself to us, except he won at a high level. He brought the program back. Right?
Yeah. Coach Madison said that, because he'd been there forever. Yeah, I used to go in and I'd hang out with Joe B and Eddie Sutton in the office and just, we kick it and shoot the breeze. He said that kind of stopped when Rick Pitino came. It was more of a, look, Rick was standoffish. Rick wasn't kicking it with everybody else and fraternizing with the rest of the athletic department. That's all that stopped when Rick Pitino came. So that's Rick wasn't talking to Coach Madison and all that kind of stuff. He just wasn't what it was.
Doing here, man? Like this folksy thing, Rick won. We have not had a classier coach than Tubby Smith. Tubby would have probably still been coaching way into the 2000s if he won more. Mm-hmm. That's it. Because Coach Cal's out here. Every time there's a natural disaster, he's putting the full force, the full pulpit of his power to help Kentuckians. And y'all out here telling me that man don't care. Okay. All right, fine. But I'm not going to spend this whole next season. Well, Coach Cal, look, you got to let it go, man. You have to let it go. I know we're going to see a lot of comments when Reed and Rob get drafted. Look at these draft picks, and we didn't even beat Oakland. Yes, we've beat that to death. You're not saying anything that's a big revelation at this point. Everybody knows we lost to Oakland. Like there's no joke to be made. There's no snarkiness. We have beat that into the ground. We have. We've beat it in. Let that go. I don't know what I was talking about before that, but I just had to come on, man. Every post.
And it's sadly it's not going to go anywhere because they can't wait to throw that shade and
let it go.
I'm like you. I don't have the bandwidth to even fool with letting it bother me because I'm just that's all some people living for. Oh, see, oh, yep, oh, there's gonna be people mad at Cal's at the draft tonight. Why he gotta be there? Why he got? You already know.
all these draft players and we only got the one chip. Yes, you're not saying anything that we don't already know and we've already beaten to the ground. There's nothing new to the conversation.
No.
It's like when I see the Jordan versus LeBron debate, nobody's bringing anything new to this. You're just not. Jordan is 6-0. LeBron is 4-8 or whatever he is. Like nothing is changing. There's nothing LeBron could do. Once he left Cleveland and came to LA, the legacy's set, right? There's nothing else that he could have done to change the narrative. Even if LeBron got to 8 championships, which, I was hoping was a possibility when he showed up in LA, but even that, because he had already lost. Nothing's going to change. We can talk about Oakland. We could talk about, was it Kansas State? We could talk about St. Peter's. Like, we have all done this. We don't need to keep doing it. Like, we don't. There's no reason to keep doing it. But, it's Kentucky fans, so it's not going to go away soon. We finally got the old folks to stop debating about whether or not Pitino should have guarded the inbounder, right? And that was 30-something years ago.
That's right. That's right.
I was talking about the fans, and I'm a little rough from that last little segment. I'm a little rough on the fans, but people were trying to chastise them when Pitino went to Louisville, and I'm like, no, that's a very valid criticism and feeling to have as a fan. Like, can you imagine like Dean Smith going to Duke? No, because that's insane. Woody Hayes is not going to coach in Ann Arbor, right? Like that's not going to happen. You don't see that. And so I think that's adding a little bit of fire. I tell you what, though, when Texas and Texas A&M, that's going to be must-see TV when they play baseball next year. Like, I'm not a big college baseball guy. I'm gonna watch that because if it's in College Station,
gotta be. Surely the schedule not made yet. I mean, they still officially ain't an SEC yet, so they gotta send him back to College Station.
That's right, because Cal is coming to Lexington. We only get one of those games, right? Yeah, you got to send them on the road first. Right? You got to do that.
Yeah. You got to bring Texas down to A&M for a weekend series.
Oh man, you got to, and because we don't see it. You don't see a lot of coaches go to rivals, even at the professional level.
Yeah, there's nobody for the Chiefs and Raiders have switched out as far as coaches. I don't think.
Not at the head, but even LA and Boston, like players like Shaq have
Rondo, Shaq.
Rondo. There's been a few others that have played, but even those guys, like nobody thinks of Shaq as a Celtic, right? Like or you don't see those icons quite like that. But
because Dion played for the Redskins after the Cowboys, and he was on down towards the end of the career when he, Baltimore and Washington and all that.
Don't forget that.
But y'all don't have a bitter rival like Cowboys and Redskins though. So for him to be, y'all played in that NFC West and y'all ain't had no rivals, and
that's correct statement.
Just like some animals, I think there's some animals don't have any natural predators. Y'all didn't have a rival, but seeing him play for the Redskins, what Johnny Damon played for the Red Sox and the Yankees, stuff like that. It's like Nick Saban going to Auburn. That ain't happening,
right? And so when Kentucky fans were upset at Pitino, I'm like, I get that. Because he thought he was going to come back. I'm coming back to Kentucky. No, man. Like, we don't know you like that.
Mm-hmm.
To quote Kendrick Lamar, he not like us.
No.
Man, that song is a jam.
Mm-hmm.
I am I'm a big fan of that Kendrick Lamar song.
Yeah.
I love a good song to prove a point. I love being petty. And it's clear Kendrick Lamar does not like Drake. Like, that's awesome to me.
Uh-huh.
Granted, you don't want to take it too far, right? Like, I think we as music people of our generation, I had to come to this realization. You know, that Tupac and Biggie thing, that East Coast, West Coast thing, probably wasn't the best way to go about it.
It was a little much.
Have you been catching Bomani talking about the 1994 and the different albums that came out in 1994?
I'm a little behind on him. I hadn't caught the
Well,
music.
because it's on his YouTube thing. But 1994, I'm like, oh wow, that's my sweet spot. 1994, woo, buddy. So he started with Nas's Illmatic, talking about that, which was great. And then we got Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, which was, I mean, phenomenal, right? Then he did a breakdown of Outkast's Southern Playalistic. I mean, that's 3 debuts. Like, that is heavy hitter. And then he just did B.I.G.'s Ready to Die. That's 4 dudes just showing up. Four groups. That is, young kids don't know, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think, like, B.I.G. only released 1 album in his lifetime. Because Life After Death came out after, like, he only had a 1, and it's so crazy because it's like, he did his guest spots and features and all that kind of stuff. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, he must have had a couple, but it's like just the 1. And he was that dope that people our age, people that know, he's top 10 rapper off just the 1.
Just legend immediately, man.
Just the 1.
Mm-hmm. That's when you know, man. That's when you know.
That's that Gale Sayers, like, we don't need a whole career. Like, we don't need the whole rundown. Like, talking about Hall of Fame, like, we don't need the whole thing. Okay, come on. His 4 or 5 years, whatever it was before his injuries, like, all right, okay, you good. Come on in. That's how good B.I.G. was.
Because Gil says, we know you play for Chicago and they don't have no quarterbacks. So for you to do what you was doing, scoring 6 touchdowns on the Niners, yeah, man, you in, man. You ain't got nothing else to prove.
Yeah. But just talking about the rap beef, because there's an Apple playlist I got. It's the best diss tracks. I love that stuff, man. I hate you so much. I'm gonna write a song about it. Woo, buddy.
Hit for that petty, man. Hit for the petty.
Drake thought this was just going to be a rap battle.
Like,
I can rap better than you, and you ain't got the hits like I got. Kendrick Lamar is like, I hate you. And look, he started off the 1. I'm sorry that Drake is your father. What the hell? Like, how do you start a song like that? He's like, I hate the way you dress. Like that, like, Drake showed up to this, like, I thought this was something different. Drake, you got to lay low, man.
No, you can't.
You can't fire back. Because then Kendrick Lamar threw that LA party at the old Forum, and they came out. I watched it. They did not like us 5 times. Hey, I've seen clips on social media. That song, it's everywhere, man. You got people line dancing how much you're a terrible person.
Yeah, it ain't. Woo. You're not changing anybody's minds now. You're not. You don't have the firepower. You don't have the smoke to respond. So just It's like those dudes that blow a putt that could win the PGA Tour or whatever, and you never hear from him again. Like if he breaks through here, he might win 5 majors, and he misses a 2-foot putt, and he's in obscurity forever. So that's where Drake is right now.
Yeah, he's Nick Anderson in '94.
Hey, I like that. That's a good one. That's a good,
like
memorable.
But the thing about Drake is, look, is he talented? Yes. Do I rock with some of his songs? Yes. But was he or is he a part of the culture? I don't know, right? And Kendrick was like, he's not like us. He's not here. He's like, that dude's Canadian.
Yep.
He was on TV before he started rap. Like, you just got to sit there and eat your food and enjoy, the spoils of being Drake. But
yeah,
you should have just sat there and ate your food. Because J. Cole was like, I forgot who told J. Cole, like, hey, you don't want this. And J. Cole was like, you know what? You're right. He did like Red's Daddy and Friday. You want some of this?
You want some of Debo? No.
Get out of here. Look, man.
Why you keep coming over here?
Drake just gotta get in the lab and make some more pop music rap. And that look, all you gotta do is just stay in your lane, be like, yep, that's a loss, but don't say anything else.
Don't let those flames subside. Don't be trying to stoke those fires.
Yeah, but I like a good diss track. Of course, you got Hit 'Em Up, which people have been debating isn't actually a good song. Yes, it is. I was disappointed when Questlove was like, he didn't think it was that great because of the soundtrack, the sample. I'm like, the only reason he used that sample because Biggie and Bad Boy had used it on, I can't remember the name of the song. That's why Tupac used it. For me, it ain't so much what Tupac rapping about. I love the fact, one, he starts it off with another banger, like what Kendrick Lamar did. I won't quote it for it, but we all know that opening line where it's like, "Oh, word!" Like that was jarring to me. And then he rapped about how Bad Boy wasn't this, and then my favorite part is like, "I'm not even gonna say anything else about y'all. I'm gonna give it to my less talented friends." And then the Outlaws come on. You're like, "Okay, this is not great." And then Tupac gets the mic, and then it's like, that was the first time I'd even heard of Chino XL. I don't know if Chino XL ever released a full album.
Right.
All I know is he caught a stray.
In that moment,
And then I'm like, damn, that dude got sickle cell Pac. You ain't got to put his business out on the street like that. That to me was like, okay, right. But there's been a lot of good ones. Ice Cube, No Vaseline. A lot of those lyrics don't really hold up because it's a lot of. But there's that. There's Dre Day where they talking about Eazy-E, Ether, which I think is pretty darn good. Nas going after Jay-Z, and then Jay-Z response. Oh, why is that name of that one? Oh, but what I'm talking about. Jay-Z had a response. I thought that was pretty good. Give me some more of that rap. That was the whole thing about rap. That's how it got started.
Yo,
I'm gonna out rap you. The rap battle, like that goat, that takes it back. But yeah, Drake don't want those problems, man. Just stay in Canada. Keep doing what you're doing. Kendrick hates you. It ain't a play hate. He ain't trying to sell albums. That's the thing. You would think he's doing all this because he ain't got no album coming out. He just releasing hate tracks.
Nothing more, nothing less.
That's right.
That's all I'm out here doing.
Sweet chin music, and I won't pass by. I've been listening to that. That's my running workout song. I'm like, they not like us. That's right. I'm gonna dog in this fight, but they ain't like us. That's right. And having 20,000 people do the A minor part, that's savage. That A minor, and it's just, man, I'm like, he really hates this guy.
He just let it ooze out. It's just been there the whole time.
Man.
And he got more. That's why Drake don't. He got more. He ain't done. And if need be, he just he's just over there brewing, just percolating.
Well, I saw like the producer that did the beats for Not Like Us. He's like, yeah, I was sending Kendrick Lamar like all these. I was sending like that dude's got stuff. And the thing that it's got to concern Drake is like he knows stuff that he probably shouldn't know. Like somebody in Drake's camp is giving information. Because when Drake had his comeback, like 45 minutes later, Not Like Us dropped. Like, what? That dude is waiting for you to say something else.
Yeah.
To keep it going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he daring Drake to do something else. Mm-hmm. I wish you would.
It's almost like when James Brown, you remember there was a band in the 70s called the Average White Band that tried to play funk.
Yeah.
And so James Brown put together the Average Black Band, Average Brown Band, I'm sorry. Just I love that stuff, man. I love it.
The Average White Band had a brother in the group too, though.
Yeah,
So
but they said something happened and James Brown was like, all right, he got the JB, we getting back together. Yeah, hell no. We don't. Hell no. Look, man, and I love those moments. Sometimes you get them in sports where it's like the teams don't like each other and they're just proving points, or these athletes don't like each other. I love that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. My dad's favorite Muhammad Ali fight is the What's My Name fight. Mm. When that dude refused to call Muhammad Ali, kept calling him Clay, and Muhammad Ali would not knock him out.
Yeah.
You can see if you watch it, because I've watched it a few times, the referee's like, come on, man. And he's doing just enough to inflict damage on that man. Mm-hmm. And it's like, please knock him out. No, I'm going to keep him up. I'm not even going to knock him down. I'm going to punish this man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, that's those revenge, the Kill Bill movies and the John Wick movies. I know you don't watch a lot of movies, but I like that revenge stuff. Like I'm just here to prove a point, man.
Yeah. It was Ernie Terrell. That's who he was.
Yeah. And you can hit him. Boom. What's my name? Boom. What's like? Just knock him out. No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No. I enjoy that kind of thing. I've been known to do that a time or two.
Oh, just to prove the point.
Yeah, man. I love proving points.
With the message sinking in.
My favorite wrestling match ever, going back to my high school days.
Oh, okay.
There was a kid in my neighborhood. He went to Fern Creek and I went to Seneca. And he wrestled. And we were in the same weight class. And all summer, I'd be out and about, and he telling everybody what he gonna do to me when Fern Creek and Seneca go to town. Okay, cool. This was at Eastern High School, the Jefferson County Meet of Champions, or whatever they called it. Now, keep in mind, Vinny, my entire wrestling career, Mama B never came. Because she's like, something happened. I'm coming down there. So me and my dad were like, perhaps you should stay up. But whatever happened, my dad had something going on. So my mom had to come pick me up. And it just so happened my match got pushed back. She was going to come out way after I was done. But she showed up and I'm getting ready to go wrestle. And this dude been just jaw jacking for months leading up to this. And I look up and I see Mama B. I was like, all right, I'm not losing this one. And so we go, and usually my wrestling style, I'm very passive. I'm going to let you do all it. I'm going to speed this up. But I got called for unnecessary roughness because I punched him in the face. We were getting up, and I came, and I brought my arm way back here, and I whap. And I blacked his eye, and there, unnecessary roughness, -1 point for me or a point for him, whatever. My coach was like, who is this Terry? And there was this move that I had been working on in practice. I couldn't pin you with it, but you couldn't get out of it without separating your shoulder.
Dang, MMA.
So we go in, and I'm like, I'm not going to do this till we get to the third round because it's only 2-minute rounds. Like wrestling is very, very quick because it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I'm gonna catch him slipping and I'm gonna put this in this thing and he's gonna have a business decision to make. And I catch him and I put him in it 10, 15 seconds into the third round. And I can just sit here holding it. Like, I ain't gonna pin you. You can't get out of it unless you separate your shoulder.
Ooh.
And you got a business decision to make.
Mhm.
And I can hear Vinny. I know this is gonna sound bad, but I can hear him, and I can hear him whimpering, like, oh. And I'm like, you talked all that. Now here we are.
Uh-huh.
And I spit my mouth guard out. I was like, and I whispered, I was like, is this all you got? And his face is flushed, and I can just, he's sweating and maybe some tears coming out, and I can hear him just whimpering. And I just sat in it, and I'm just like I'm looking at his coach. I'm looking at everybody. Everybody's like, what? Because I try to be mild-mannered, but I had a point to prove.
Uh-huh.
So we get done, and he's like this here, and you're supposed to shake hands after wrestling. I slapped at his hand. I had a point to prove.
Yo, they're trying to lift his hand up to shake it. You don't broke his shoulder.
Business decision. Like, you can get out, but you got to separate your shoulder to do it.
Man.
And my own teammates were like, what the hell? Like, what? Where did this come from? Like, this is not.
You know, flip the switch on everybody.
Hey, I had a point to prove. One, that man was the only match that my mother ever saw. Because even she was like, what was that? I was like, I was like, he lived on the other side of the neighborhood. He been talking that trash. Now, my dad was like, high five. My brothers were like, oh, that's how you do it. I was like, yeah. And so
you catch him out later on.
I'm getting to that. I would make sure, because the street I grew up on is a circle. So it's a full circle. Oh man, I was always going over there, like walking around, like visiting. I had friends, lived a couple doors down. I'm waiting for him too. I'm looking for him at the grocery store. I am looking. Called him one time. He said, hey, it was a good match. I won't say what I said.
It's a good match.
It's a good match. I'll do it again. Yeah. So yes, I enjoy proving points. I enjoy that a tremendous amount. Like you got a point to prove.
You just let that fester all summer. You had to hear it all summer. And,
yeah, like I said, I'm not a great. I was not a great. I made the state tournament. I wasn't fantastic or anything like that. But I'm like, oh, I can beat this guy. Especially talking cat. Oh man, talking that cash nonsense. Oh, then we have to. You wrestling. You got to weigh in, and you got to weigh in. You basically in your jockey strap.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm weighing in officially. Him and his buddies walk around with something to say. I'm like, all right, I got something for you. Because I knew I was going to put him in that move regardless.
Mm-hmm.
The punch in the faces because my mom was in the stands. Yeah, but we getting ready to go, and I can't remember what he said. I was like, all right, cool. Cool. And for the first 2 rounds, I'm wearing him out. And I'm like, I'm gonna get him early in this 3rd round. He's got to sit here for almost 2 minutes, feeling his shoulder almost separate. Oh yeah, I was cold-blooded, man.
Yeah, you had a whole game plan for him, boy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. But I love proving points.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's what I've seen about this Kendrick and Drake beef. It's like, what really did Drake do besides exist? And he really hadn't done anything to Kendrick like that anybody has found. Kendrick just don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if somebody does, like if Drake had done something, then you can apologize. But if somebody just hates you on principle, there's nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just
yeah. When they went, they a couple of performances together years ago, but when that fork in the road happened, it's been Hey.
on site. And again, Drake thought this was a rap off. This is not a rap off. It's not like this ain't what we're here for. Who's got the best bars?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was Kendrick with Not Like Us decided, I'm gonna come up with a song where how much I hate this dude, and it's catchy.
Yeah, it's over. Game over, man. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Like, oh, okay, like it's catchy. I've seen.
It's over.
Hey, I was telling the wife about this. This is gonna be interesting coming football season. What's the first HBU that's gonna play that song? Because I think it might lead to a fight. That's what she said. All of them. Because it's going to lead to a fight. It's going to lead to a fight.
FAMU, Preview, Howard, all of them. It's a race to who can play it first.
First game of the year. The first man going to come out. It's going to be, this is for you. I see dead people. Because they always got the one dude with the microphone always talking.
Yeah.
Woo!
Didn't Kyrie them warm up? Didn't Kyrie them warm up to it before game one?
Yeah.
And I thought when I saw that, I thought, oh, okay, Mavs. And then they went out and did nothing. But
you got to back it up.
I thought they were going to, and I was like, oh, okay, first game in Boston, the Mavs warming up to this, all right. But anyway, so yeah, but yeah,
So
every day, I mean, the practice and writing, all the HBCU bands right now, as soon as they get back on campus, this the first song that's getting practice. And add it to the come on. Yeah.
They're gonna have routines to it, like
Grambling got it, Southern got it.
Oh, Southern Grambling,
Preview
they got
got
the fist
it.
fight already.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, like that.
Kentucky State got it. We doing a little something in Frankfurt with it. Come on,
yeah, man. Drake just gotta let it go, man.
Yep. It's just ain't nothing you can do, man. Ain't nothing you can do, but just make it worse.
It's eligible for a Grammy Award. If they let that man do that at the Grammys, Drake just gotta disappear into the ether.
Hey man, you just gotta go to your little private spot in Toronto. Some other
just chill. You gotta lay low. Trim back.
Quit touring. Just don't do nothing.
Trim back a little bit. Trim back your staff and just kind of chill.
Yeah.
So
a little holding pattern.
The Grammys are going to be must see.
And when we ever said that, because and I don't know the last time I watched the Grammys, man.
I'll watch it if they like Kendrick.
Right.
I will be, yes, I will be there. Even if it's a Wednesday, be like, look, we need to take this one off because I want to watch this.
Yeah.
Kendrick had Bloods and Crips in LA come out almost holding hands, dancing to how much he hates you.
Yeah.
Like, I've only seen the Bloods and Crips come together. Let's stop the riots. Like maybe one, like this is like they stopped beefing to hate you and dance around. Russell Westbrook dancing around, DeMar DeRozan dancing around. Woo, buddy.
That's what it is. That's when you know.
Because Drake loved being on the sideline. What are you gonna do? You sit in the sideline NBA game and just because that little snippet's gonna be played. Like, come on, man.
You just can't. It ain't safe for him right now. It ain't safe.
No, man. Safe. No. I'm sorry that man is your father. Come on, man. Anyway, I had to go off a little tangent and my little pettiness from way back when. Oh man, like I love that match too.
Absolutely, man. Yeah,
and you got a choice to make. You can get out, separate that shoulder. We'll go.
That's hilarious.
Gonna try to punk me in front of my mama, man.
That's hilarious.
And much like Drake, I remember the look on his face. We came out for the second round, and his look was like, I have messed this. It's one of those like record scratch. That's me. I bet you're wondering how I got into this. Because he was like, what is going on? I was like, yeah. We gotta take care of this.
I have underestimated my opponent. I didn't know what I was signing up for.
Because my coach is like, well, you can pin him. That's not why I'm here. You misunderstand, sir. Yeah, I could probably pin him. I could probably get enough points to get a technical pinfall. I was like, but that's not what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
I've had months of this dude. My mom's like that. That's not what this is, and I'm okay with it. Sometimes proving a point is fun.
Yes.
Like I forget. I saw something on Twitter. All those. Everybody's got inspirational things. It was like, revenge, like hurting somebody back won't make you feel better, something like that. And the response was, sometimes that's not what revenge is. Like, I understand this won't even things out, but I'm gonna get this person back. That's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You misunderstand. That's not what this is about. Yeah, I can win. No, he got to go the full 6 minutes with this.
Right. He gonna feel this win.
Anywho.
Oh man, good stuff, man. Good stuff. That's hilarious. Hilarious.
Like I said, I wasn't very good athletically, so I don't know where the girls get it, but I was a little mean.
Yeah. Put this nasty streak on him.
I had to. I went into high school. I was 5'1", 5'2", 80 pounds.
Oh,
I was teeny tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to do something, because people think they can. I look like Urkel. You've seen pictures of me. For some bizarre reason, I was rocking suspenders, like glasses, suspenders with a high top fade.
Yes,
little bitty black kid. And I'd be like, "Don't call me Urkel," and people are like, "Have you seen what your get down is, sir?" So I had to do. That's the reason I had to do something.
Yeah.
So I was like, "This is what I'm gonna do."
Yeah, you see it. You did it too. You did it.
Yeah. When they talk about what's your greatest sports moment, that's it. That's it. That right there was.
That's a good one to walk off on, boy.
I mean, I'm having flashbacks of that.
His shoulder's still hurting. So
probably when it rained, he's like, I should have left TB alone.
Yeah.
I think about that because I'm able, like, he go to pick up his kid, like, and he's like, I should have left TB alone.
He's still in Louisville.
I have no idea. I haven't seen him since high school, but oh yeah, I made a point to go by his house. You got to look me in my face now. Talking all that stuff, all that summer leading up, because it was from sophomore. It was my junior year that I did that. So that sophomore junior year, he was, I'm coming for you, and I'm all right, sir.
And you never wrestled before, right?
I had never wrestled him before, no.
And he just thought he was going.
Yeah, I'd be in the yard, cutting grass, and he'd come riding by on his bicycle because it was way back when, and I'd be like, all right, man. He'd have his Iron Creek. I'm like, I'm not really scared of you, but whatever.
So you found out that day. You learned.
As the kids say, F around and find out. Yeah. You could tell that brings me great joy to tell that story.
Never shared that, man. That's all right.
Yeah. That's my moment. Our man Cameron got the shot over Duke. Great. I got where I made this dude almost. I think he did whimper up a little.
Yo.
Oh, it's about time for the draft. We need to wrap it up.
Absolutely. We go ahead
all right.
Button and appreciate everybody. We talk about the draft and where everybody goes next week. We're listening to Adam Silver right now, BS3 Network. Appreciate y'all. TB, Vinny, Cats Talk Wednesday. We'll holler at y'all next time.
Yes, sir.